Buddy, I'm gonna give you just the floor is yours if you want to hit on any defensive coordinators that were hired that really, I don't know, really got you jazzed up here, since we only talked offense here as a fantasy focus show. Any of these defensive coordinators you just like, man, that one lights your fire and makes you feel really good about the team going forward?
I think Zimmer to the Cowboys might be the thing that pushes them over the edge. I love Zimmer to the Cowboys. I think that's great for them. Vic, Uncle Vic to Philly. Absolutely. Eastern Pennsylvania guy, Stroudsburg guy, represent the 570, baby. What's up? So very happy about Vic. I think that a lot of people are like more tepid than they were in the Fangio system because a lot of the offshoots have been bad. But there's a big difference between having an offshoot at DC and having the original product at DC. And more so than an offense where like trees can proliferate. It's hard for defensive trees to proliferate. And so when you have the actual guy who runs the defense, that is a big deal. So I think that's huge for Philadelphia. Love Ryan Nielsen. He was the Falcons OC or DC for 1 year. He's in Jacksonville now. Just a big, angry man. I think that's excellent. Looking forward to that. Jimmy Lake in Atlanta is really interesting to me. Was a good defensive coach there in Washington. Got the head coaching job. Was in way over his head, and now kind of gets a second chance in Atlanta. Now in the league, which is like a weird place to have your second chance. I think that's a really interesting one. I'm curious how that goes. Patriots will be fun. Gerard Mayo's a great coach. I think that defense still is awesome. That's all the ones I can think of right now off the top of my head.
Well, I'm with you, though. Mike Zimmer in Dallas, I think, is good for the league that Mike Zimmer is back, number one. And number two, there's so many defensive players there that I'm not going to say haven't been maximized of late, but I think certainly can even further be maximized under Mike Zimmer. And I think the way he calls and designs defense makes sense to combat modern offenses. So, I mean, the Cowboys, look, it's just about, like, can you win a damn playoff game? Can you win multiple playoff games? Whatever. I don't know what the standard is in Dallas these days, but I think Mike Zimmer was a good hire to replace Dan Quinn. Obviously, he was hired by Washington.
Yeah, Zimmer is going to be like it's going to be a case where you look at season-long numbers and his defense won't necessarily look as good as Quinn's defense did. And it's going to be like, oh, this is bad. But when they play the top NFC teams, they're going to be better. That's the objective, is by January, you are better at matching the 49ers and the Detroit Lions and the Green Bay Packers of the world. That exact sort of offense, Shanahan-McVay offense, that has given you so many issues when you had Dan Quinn as your DC. And that's why I say it can be the thing that pushes them over the edge. It's like, I don't think it's going to like, oh, they're going to be the Browns defense. Like Jim Schwartz just took that unit and yanked them up to the top ranking. That would surprise me. But I do think that they're going to be better against that specific system in that conference when they need to win playoff games in January. And if they can, great move.